Glenn, you'll appreciate this. Whenever we do these sort of early morning shows, I always want to yell "Good morning, Vietnam." little tribute to the late Robin Williams. But yeah, we are going to kick off our FA Cup run today in just a tick under an hour and a half, 90 minutes. At the Haunted Forest from Robin Hood, Nottingham. So grab a beer, grab a hot dog or a hamburger, whatever your preference is. I've got Glenn, I've got Mike, and Ryan will be along shortly. He's at the porta potty right now, taking care of some personal business, dropping the kids off at the pool, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we're going to do our best to preview Nottingham Forest Arsenal, talk about lineups when they're released, and maybe even a fourth round draw. Perhaps, I don't know. We'll see where the morning takes us. Let's get into it. And as Mike so eloquently put it behind the scenes before we came on, it was, I'm sure it was kind of nice to just be able to hear us and not actually see us. So, no, what did you say? You're not particularly enjoyable to listen to, but boy, I like. Oh, here we go. Now the dogs are barking.
Yeah, I was saying the opposite of that, but here we go. All right. So Glenn, which of us hosts the show when the dogs are barking? Okay.
Yeah, okay, Mike, let's do it.
I gotta yell, and I gotta mute myself to yell, but then I didn't turn the camera off, so everybody saw this. Anyway, yeah. So no clue where Ryan is at the moment. I think there's a line at the shitter.
In his house.
In his house, yeah. But anyway, I admittedly know nothing of Nottingham Forest. I don't even know. I know they're in the championship. I do not know where they sit in the championship right now. I'm going to look it up if I can.
They're pushing for the playoff positions, and I don't mean to jump on you here, but I remember a day back when I first discovered Arsenal and was living over there, where they were one of the top teams in not just in England but in Europe. I mean, as you know, they have 2 stars on their uniforms, and we have 0.
Right.
But those seem very, very, very distant and far away. But yeah, and I'm joining with the white. I have the all white kit, aka an undershirt.
Today. Yeah. You know what? That shirt is so white. I believed you till you moved your camera down.
Yeah.
I like the cause that white shirt's behind, but I don't like the look. It's all subjective.
I think they should have called it. "Get the blood out" and spell blood BLUD.
Right,
I mean that kind of sounds
followed
like
by comma bruv.
Yeah, or fam, which sounds like an anti-troops thing, and I'm not anti-troops, but that shirt would have been funny.
Yeah. No, it's.
Can I make a request? Can we not discuss the elephant in the room for another 10 minutes until there's more to discuss? I don't want to jinx anything.
Wait, the elephant in the room.
Well, I mean, besides me, there's a game that's going on right now
yeah, we can.
We can talk about that when it's going to be talking about. But Hendon Gunnar in the chat with a lot of facts, spitting some knowledge. Okay, thank you, Hendon Gunnar. Please, I'm asking you not to spoil it.
Bang! Look at this, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
that is true.
Time. So the resident, I don't know what I want to call you, Ryan. By the way, how was your poop?
Oh no, just move on. It'll take 5 minutes. It'll take 5 minutes to answer that. Right.
We'll take.
Ryan Metamucil.
The man who treats tangents like roller coasters. He's never met one he won't go on. But anyway, hi. Good morning.
What's up?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So tell me about Nottingham Forest.
Tell you
now he's got nothing to say.
No. Yeah, they're like an average championship level team. I think their goal differential is like +4. They're just a run of the mill team in the championship. They're a lot better away than they are at home. So we're away, right? We're in Nottingham Forest, right?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
We're right in the middle of the forest. We're like,
Yeah.
So trees everywhere.
So I'm obviously optimistic because we're just a better team than they are. But yeah, they're a poor team. They're a poor team when they're at home. They actually, I think they've won 4, lost 6, and then I don't know how many they tied. -3 goal differential. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a statement game. Arteta's finally back. Let's just we'll definitely need to put out some young guys, obviously because of injuries and because of AFCON, but. I think there should be some, the ESRs of the world, the Lacazettes of the world. This will be a game that, kind of puts a stamp on like, hey, we're still here. We haven't played in a week. And our next game, I think, is Thursday, Liverpool, our first leg. So we could in my opinion, I think we go a little bit stronger here than we do on Thursday. So it should be an interesting game, though, because Nottingham Forest are not a rollover team, but a team that we should definitely beat with ease.
Can I share something very special with you three and with the audience?
As long as your pants are on, sure.
No, this is serious, guys. I'm not a person that messes around very often, so I need this to be taken seriously. I mean, as you know, most of you know, I am Jewish, but I'm not like super religious. I'm not a super faithful, like religious prayer type of person. But something has happened this morning that absolutely just brings me to a point where you can't avoid knowing that there's some sort of higher power. I mean, I've seen something that really, really affected me. And it is that somehow in the course of 3 days, men, just massive men, they've recovered from COVID up in Liverpool to be able to field a team against Shrewsbury. And I don't know how it happened, but it's happened.
You got me, man. I should have known.
And you can only assume that there is a higher power now. I mean, anyone who's ever questioned it, and of course, Spurs have just gone ahead as well. But you can only assume that someone is really just looking. I mean, God knows no football teams. At least you'd like to think so. So he doesn't know that he was really screwing us. But yeah, I mean, this is some special stuff that we're seeing, and they're managing to beat Shrewsbury right now, which is just another miracle. So,
yeah.
Thank you for letting me come on your show and share that because.
Well, he had me because my wife is Jewish, but she's not very religious, and I'm like, oh, what's Mike going to say? Is it a Jewish holiday? Do I have to say something to my wife or something? I should have known. I should have known.
Yeah, you should have got your wife flowers this morning.
No, if I do that, she's always like, "What did you do?" So I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with Mike. Liverpool, I knew they were full of shit. I think everybody knew they were full of shit.
Well, first of all, it was 3, and the wording. And I know that this is a preview show for today's match, but since
suspected positive.
The word suspected positive. So you took the test and then just said, "I don't want the results. I think it's positive, and we're just going to go with that." Is that how it works?
I got a little tickle. I got a tickle.
Yeah, right.
Now, this is not me minimizing COVID. I'm just saying, like to you.
That'll be Mike. Leave that to me. Leave that to me.
Yeah, that's your job.
Leave that to me. It's really something to see that they had 3 suspected positive cases and they got that game postponed. I mean, at this point, there are supporters of other clubs looking at that and saying, okay, guys, really? And this goes back to my little rant pre-show on Tuesday with the corruption that exists within this sport. The guy that is the head of the EFL, I believe chairman or whatever, but the guy that made the fucking decision to postpone the game at one point he's from Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is a known Liverpool supporter. And at one point, I believe was even on their board. So it's like, how did you not know that the game was going to get postponed for 3 suspected positive cases? Meanwhile, Aston Villa were told, no, fuck you. Put out your U23s last year at the height of it. And yeah, anyway, it's I don't know. I don't.
I mean, look,
on a tangent the way I did last week. So
I've seen a lot of explanations about what's different, what's the rules for Leighton Orient were different. I mean, I get that rules are rules, but and Arsenal's been awfully gracious about this. I mean, more so than I would have liked them to be about this situation. Obviously, let us speak on the pitch on the next 2 Thursdays.
Yeah. So, all right. Here's. I thought of this as I was awake and actually chatting with Mike at 4:30 in the morning.
As we do.
Yeah, as we do. Something that I thought about, Ryan. I want to get your opinion on this. But 2 guys. You said that we're definitely going to be playing some young guys today, and I would almost disagree in the need to play some young guys today. We haven't played for a week. We don't play again for another week, with the exception of Liverpool on Thursday. I don't think they're going to field a strong team because I just don't think they're taking the EFL Cup very seriously. But I almost want to play a strong, as strong a side today as I can for consistency's sake, for just confidence and form. I almost kind of want to treat this like a league game, but I think the 2 players that need to play, the two play. It's not important that they play for today's match. It's important that they play to develop some chemistry. And I can't wait to see his head pop off his shoulders and do a 360. But Granit Xhaka and Sammy Lokonga have to play together today, right?
Xhaka's not playing today.
Thank Mike. Damn it.
What did I miss? Why is he not playing today?
Because Chris Wheatley says he's not playing today.
He hasn't been in training. Suspected he has COVID, but they didn't announce it, so something's up with him. I don't know, but he hasn't been training. So
Smith Rowe and Xhaka were not on the team bus. That's where I'm getting that from.
Yeah.
Maybe this is selfish, but whenever I hear, and if he has COVID, I hope he gets better soon.
He will. Soon. Don't worry, Glenn. He will.
Yes, I know. 99% chance of recovery. But what
I don't know. He has some comorbidities, including the fact that he's a dick. But although he's apparently not, because he was very nice, very, very nice to my friend Jack over the past couple of weeks as he treated him to a game that he almost single-handedly lost for us. But
anyway,
I just wanted to say, because I wanted to make sure I didn't offend anybody, that if you tell me Jacques is in the lineup, I'm never going to say, damn it! I like when he's not in the lineup. That's just the way I am.
I like it too.
The other thing is, going back to what you were saying before about Liverpool, just one other thought about that. The Premier League doesn't get it right all the time. Obviously, Liverpool can do whatever the F they want. And the other thing is, if the Premier League was smart, all right, because I'm getting sick of this with these quick games. Every other league in the world, as far as I know, has 5 substitutions in a game. Why can't the Premier League do that? That would help out so much. That's it. Now you can go back to whatever the hell you were talking about.
Whatever. Cooking.
No, seriously, I had to get that all out because the subject, since we stopped talking, in the intro, everything's been moving so fast. So I just wanted to say that.
Ryan got everything out before the show, and Glenn just got everything out now.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. You guys know I don't talk that much. Go ahead.
This is what happens when you don't have a lot to discuss with a team that nobody really knows anything about.
No, this is what happens when I have to get up early and I'm talking to you guys with no sleep. That's what this is.
For me, it was okay. So if he's sick, whatever. But we have no midfield. So if all right, so if Jacques is not playing, Sammy Lokonga is going to play. Who else who's playing back there with him?
Charlie Patino.
Yeah, but Charlie Patino's not a defensive midfielder.
No, it'll probably. I would actually like to see Callum Chambers in that position today.
There's your answer. I was like, I know we have somebody. Chambers.
We have yet to use him in that position, even though he's shown he can play there, which is a little alarming. That even in a League Cup game, he wouldn't get a chance. But It's not going to be Maitland-Niles. I mean, it's kind of strange. Our midfield situation for a massive European club, even though we haven't been playing like it, is ridiculously thin at this point. But I would expect either we see a less defensive setup where Odegaard drops back next to Lakanga. I don't know if that even works because Odegaard's played next to Partey. He hasn't really played next to Lakanga. Or we really might see Patino in a situation, and or I mean, I think Chambers is the safest bet, but it depends on how he wants to play, because I think Chambers played more of a traditional 6 role with Fulham, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he win Player of the Year for them playing that position, Mike?
Yeah, but I mean, it was for Fulham. I mean, it was him or Mitrovic. I mean, those were the two choices.
Ryan, what's your take on this?
Well, I mean, I'm sure we haven't seen Chambers in a while, so maybe this is wrong, but apparently Chambers isn't playing either. He's doubtful to play. So
is he too handsome?
We'll see. No, I don't know. Like I said, we have to go young, and I was getting ready to talk about Xhaka and telling me we have no choice, and you were saying, oh, well, Well, that's why, Xhaka suspectedly has COVID and whatever or whatever he has. It doesn't really matter. The fact is it looks like he's not playing, so we have to do something. I think there's a good chance we'll probably maybe see a tweak in formation, maybe not on the team sheet, but kind of the way we play normally, where like we have a certain formation when we're off the ball, we have a certain formation when we have the ball. A lot of moving pieces, just the way Arteta likes to run his ship. So it'll definitely be interesting. I don't know if an academy player is going to get a start today, but I do think Patino is going to get some kind of minutes. I think if the play suits us, I think Salah is going to get some type of minutes. But yeah,
and who starts next to Lakanga if Chambers is out and it's not an academy player?
I think you probably play. I don't like it, but I think you play Odegaard. I think you play Odegaard next to Lakanga. I think but then it comes the question: who's the 10? Because like you said, ESR's not on the bus. So then does Patino have to start? I don't know. It's crazy because like we've talked about on multiple shows, we have players that just can play certain positions, and Saka could play in the middle, Pepe could play in the middle. We had somebody in AMN who could play almost anywhere on the pitch. He probably could even play goalie, but he's not with the team anymore.
Could not have waited until Monday. I mean,
yeah, I mean
I know the risk of injury, so on and so forth, but the risk of injury was a lot more of a risk to Roma than it would have been to us.
Yeah,
that's get out of my head, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was going to ask, did we go ahead, Ryan? Finish your thought.
No, I mean, that's something we can talk about also, because that's also a very puzzling thing. So putting AMN on loan when we're already short to begin with,
it's like me lending a bunch of these hairs to people and leaving myself with absolutely nothing. I mean, it's like I need these. I need them.
Go ahead, guys.
Did we do so? I was reading R's blog yesterday, and it doesn't say who wrote it, but whoever it was, because they have a couple of different guys, obviously, if you know anything about R's blog.
Andrew probably wrote it.
But it towards the end, it basically, so the article basically said, this is Arteta sending AMN away now. And let's face it, if the Xhaka thing is this didn't just come up last night or first thing this morning with him. So they let AMN go knowing that Xhaka was sick and wasn't going to be available for selection today. And maybe might not be available for selection come Thursday, depending on when everything started. So this is Arteta's way of pushing the board. There I go. Pushing ownership to say, look, we're thin. We need players here now. So, but did he shoot himself in the foot by sending AMN away too soon? And
we can do ifs and whens and buts. Now, let me just say this before I say what I'm going to say. Arteta has regained my support. I never like dropped my support for a manager and then he got it back. But Arteta has done that for me. I think he's deserved.
He's been on the apology tour on Twitter lately, on YouTube.
Sure, yeah, he's with me.
I would just like to say that he did a magnificent job in the summer transfer window. One of the main reasons he regained my trust. But it's fair to criticize this man. We shouldn't be talking about who the hell's going to play midfield when he let Torreira and Guendouzi just go away. I'm sure that most of you guys rate at least one of those two.
Torreira for sure.
I rated Torreira. I never understood why it didn't work out. I mean, I got the fact that he kind of didn't. It didn't work well when Unai Emery fancied him to be the next Mesut Ozil for some reason and played him as the 10. That alienated him, but that could have been fixed pretty easily, and I think he could have worked very well on a pivot with just about any of our other midfielders.
Yep.
The guy just wasn't never settled in London. He clearly wanted to go either back to Uruguay or to Italy where he was comfortable, and that's kind of where he belongs now. So may he turn out to be a pawn in the trading game for a certain Serbian who doesn't want to be here.
You know what it is, Mike. You know what it is, Mike. When people say that, and I know that's the story. It didn't work for him in London. But I always go back to when he really kicked in for us a couple of seasons ago, and he said, "I feel like I've been here 10 years. The love I'm feeling from the fans, and he wasn't talking about this shit ain't working for me right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a great start for him. I mean, there was a little bit of injury back and forth because I think he came in after a Euro. Or a world, no, not a Euro. Was it the World Cup or the Copa with Uruguay where he really became a star?
I think it was the Copa.
But he hit his stride, and he was, he wasn't dominant in the destroyer Torreira type. He was dominant in the Conte type of kind of nipping at your ankles constantly and just always letting you know where he was, and he didn't back down to superstar players. And I mean, it seemed like it was going to work out. And, look, we're moving on. It's hard to remember that he was still our player actually right now. But yeah, I mean, your point was about being on board with Arteta, and then we see him let these guys go. He's earned my trust. There seems to be absolutely no reason to have let Maitland-Niles go today versus tomorrow or yesterday versus tomorrow. But there might be more to the story that we don't know behind the scenes where, you just never really know how things are going with those. Did he play for Roma? Is he playing for Roma this weekend? I mean, did they need him for this weekend? I don't know. Maybe he didn't want a player who wasn't committed, and he showed that unlike some other people who have been out the door, Maitland-Niles would have just kind of put out a half-assed performance today if he knew he was leaving. You never know.
I agree with all of that. I can't argue with any of that.
But I'm starting to get worried about this game, to be honest. Unless Nottingham Forest treats this game with significant rotation because their league position is more important to them than the FA Cup this year. If they start a fresh, strong lineup, this game's not going to be that easy to me.
I agree. Totally agree. And I also would like to say, any cup this year, the FA Cup, I want more than – is it still the Carabao Cup or did the name change?
No, it's still the kid. Just call it the League Cup.
Yeah. But, I want to win the game today. And I think you were saying it earlier, BG. I'd like to see a strong lineup today.
Well, I said that because the way that I'm in my analyzation of the I guess I'll say the schedule. Again, we haven't played for a week. I don't want guys sitting with the role that we're on here right now, and the loss last week to City notwithstanding, because I think we played very well. I want to see these guys continue. I don't want to say complacency is not the right word. I don't want them to sit for 2 weeks, not playing a meaningful game, and just training, and some of that form takes a dip, especially considering it's not like we're not getting Watford next week. We're not getting Norwich next week. It's a North London derby, and it's a big game. Forget the end. Forget the derby part of it. Forget who it is. Just look at the table. It's a big game. So I want these guys to play to keep their form, to maintain their form moving forward. Third, I would look at Thursday as more of a rotation game than I would today, because here again, I think Nottingham will field a relatively strong side, but I do agree with what Mike just said, that their league position is more important than this today. But we have to take this seriously, because this is also another avenue back into European football. And if we start a bunch of U23s today, I'm telling you right now, we won't win this game.
I don't know that we have a choice. I mean, I mean, we will probably be starting at least one or two and seeing maybe four. Are there 5 subs in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'll be honest right now. Take the midfield out of the equation, because I have no idea who's going to play there other than Sambi Lokonga.
Well, you're going to see Marion Holding in the center midfield.
I'll tell you right now,
Cedric's probably going to play.
Cedric will definitely play. They've already shown him on the Twitter feed.
With the exception of Bern Leno in goal, I wouldn't change anything. I'd change what I have to because of injury in AFCON. I wouldn't change anything else.
I think
I'd start the same back four. Tierney, Tomiyasu, I wouldn't start. I would start Cedric over Tomiyasu, because Tomiyasu's coming back from a minor injury, so I'd give him the day off. But I'd start White and Gabriel if the Gabriel can't play. Can he? He's not eligible to play this game.
He's suspended.
Yeah.
I think there's a few positions I think that are nailed on in this one. I think Cedric on right back is nailed on. I think Nuno Tavares in left back is nailed on. I think Lokonga obviously in one of the midfield is nailed on. Frankly, I think it'll be Holding and Mari in the middle. So I think there's your back four and your one of your midfielders. If ESR is not around, then I think you've got probably Saka, Martinelli, Lacazette, and Odegaard. So it's really not that young of a team as far as it's a backup team, especially in the back, in the defense. But it's not an inexperienced young team of U23s who haven't played for Arsenal's first team before.
What I just wanted to say, I know, Ryan, please just give me 2 seconds, Ryan. Mike, what you say, I like, and I wouldn't be as worried about the game, but I'm worried instead of Lacazette, we're going to see Nketiah in there, and that's going to make
you know what? Nketiah almost has to play this game because it's a cup game, and that's where that's what July and cups. That's where he performed.
I don't rate Nketiah, just so everybody knows, and that worries me. I know he scored 3 last game, whatever.
Last time he played, yeah. But
Ryan, I'm sorry to interrupt, Ryan. Go ahead.
I wasn't talking, Glenn. You didn't interrupt me.
Oh.
Well, turn off Pornhub and say something.
Say something so I can interrupt.
Yeah, if this dude over here is like, oh, we're doing shows on Sunday, right? We're doing shows on Sunday. Yeah, here we are doing a show, and he's
Cardiff, Preston North End are an extra time. I'm sorry.
Oh, are they? All right, let me switch over to that one. I thought all the games were over.
Ryan, are you worried about today's game?
No.
We got 7 minutes till the lineup.
I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Nottingham Forest have beaten us before. What was that? 18? When did they beat us?
Yeah, it was the first FA Cup match we played after we won against Chelsea in the title.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess in a way, like, it's going to be a tough game, but it's tough because it's hard to say, like, oh, well, based off the way we played against Man City, like Nottingham Forest are going to be walking the park. Like, yes, but it's just, I think it's the mindset that Arteta has these players in. It's the work ethic he has these players in, the system he has these players in. I'm not, like, it's weird. I'm really not worried. Like, and I should be, because we've lost to Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup before. It's a tough game. They're not like a rollover team. They're a mid-table championship level team. They're going to come out with us. They're going to want to, be physical with us. And there has been, history of us not doing well with physicality, which I think we've been very, 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 we've done very well with that since, but I don't know. I'm not worried. I think, if you play the Cedrics, you play the Holdings, I don't think it's going to matter, because I think you have to play a Saka, a Martinelli, at least one of them, probably both of them, Odegaard will get some game time in. And even Eddie, I mean, yes, I don't rate Eddie either, but for what Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard can do against Nottingham Forest, I have faith Eddie is going to score a goal or two. I think Eddie can make his presence known. From Martinelli constantly running at the goal, from Saka dribbling his way to the goal, and we have a lot of direct players that can make moves in the box. If Eddie's just there for a tap in, like I don't hate it against a lower level team.
That's where he shines.
Yeah, exactly. So
put him in the 11 for any kind of Premier League game, even against the Burnleys of the world who aren't necessarily that strong, but they do play solid defense. And he's not going to get the positioning and the touches that he needs and the positions that he needs to score, which is, for example, anywhere within 3 yards of the goal. But against lower level teams, against half strength teams in July, I mean, he is my new Mr. July after Oxlade-Chamberlain left. I mean, those guys looked every single July. They looked like they were going to take over the team. When he was the star of the 2019 tour, when they came here and we beat Bayern and we beat Fiorentina and played against Madrid. And I mean, Nketiah was like, I mean, the whole crowd was chanting Eddie, Eddie. He was the breakout star. And then he did what, for the season, he basically did what you did before this show. So yeah, I mean, it's Eddie. This is Eddie's level playing against Nottingham Forest. So it's just not often that we have games against the Nottingham Forest, but this is his level. So he probably will play today. I don't know if that means to the exclusion of Lacazette or not, but we'll find out in like 3 minutes.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
And you got to figure too, like I said, like Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, you got to figure definitely one is starting, probably two. Like I just think too that they're such good players. They make it so like Eddie can do less, and he doesn't do a lot. But the stuff that Eddie does correctly and getting in that spot to score a goal, it's invaluable. Like, let's face it. I maybe you guys disagree with me, and that's fine. But what Eddie can do really well, I think he does fucking really well. I think he can help teams. Granted, it's going to be a Nottingham Forest that he's going to help, but he knows exactly where to be. He knows exactly how to touch the ball sometimes, and he makes these plays that you're like, oh, like, okay, it perks you up a little bit, but then you realize
if we could get rid of the offside rule so he could just stand 3 feet from the goal the whole time without any kind of concern about being penalized, we would win the treble.
I cannot put any trust into Nketiah when our midfield's going to be shaky at best today, and the link-up play is probably not going to be as good. I'd like to see. If I were Arteta, I'd say, hey, Lacker, can you give me 60 minutes today, and then I'm going to bring on Eddie. I know that's not going to happen, and Nketiah is going to start. How long till the lineups come out, Mike?
Yeah, any minute.
2 minutes.
I mean, is there?
I haven't been so unsure about a lineup in a long, long time.
Is there?
I think you nailed it pretty good, except for striking.
No, he already agreed to go to Middlesbrough on loan.
Middlesbrough.
So I don't think they're going to play him.
That's not a done deal yet, though, right?
Apparently it is. They signed a bunch of shit. It's not final.
Did Fabrizio say here we go yet? Because that's
Yeah, they signed a few things. They're going to announce it. Apparently they said
Charlie Patino starts for Arsenal.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, when you think about it, though, Ryan, who else would it be? There's nobody else. There's nobody else.
Odegaard, but
you'd be shocked if someone.
No, there's someone else.
I'm fine with Patino starting and then coming out in the 55th minute for a senior player if need be. I mean,
I'm a little surprised we're starting an academy player because I don't know if Arteta's done that.
I don't think he has a choice.
You do, yeah. Because who was it? We were all begging for someone to play last season, and he put someone completely out of position.
Chambers was the choice.
Yeah,
except if he's not available.
So did you see the starting lineups? You just announced the Patino.
Yeah, well, I'm just literally following and refreshing Chris Wheatley's feed, and he basically just he's giving like bits and pieces because it comes out in the press box a couple minutes early and they leak it out. But any minute now we should have the formal.
Well, I mean,
when we have the formal lineup, you want me to just read through it, or do you want to wait to put it up on the screen?
If you get it, you can wait because the only thing I could put up on the screen is like the tweet from the club. And Ryan's all up to speed with the Reddit thing, and that makes my head hurt. So.
It's been uncharacteristic this week to hear Arteta actually say, "Yeah, we're looking for some help in midfield in the window." So I guess we shouldn't be surprised that this kid that looks like the kid that gives me my White Castle through the drive-through is starting in midfield today.
Imagine if he just absolutely tears it up today. He's going to be one of those everyone thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread, and then pushes too hard for him to start him instead of Xhaka when Xhaka's back.
I wouldn't even say sliced bread. He's gonna be the next best thing since Eddie Nketiah in a cup game against Norwich, where he scores a brace coming on, scores the second goal in stoppage time. Oh, he's great. He's the answer to all our problems. Play Eddie, play Eddie, play Eddie, and then look where we are with Eddie. So.
This is good. No. Do you guys remember the movie Road Trip?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
You remember Kyle?
The main character? Is that
from Road Trip?
I don't remember the character's name.
That's Charlie Patino. Hang on a minute.
Oh, DJ Quells.
You got to see this.
The guy who bangs the big black woman.
Yeah.
DJ Quells.
Yeah, DJ Quells. That's fair. Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Oh,
shout out to DJ Quells. He came out a couple.
All right, ago. What will we get first? This joke that is making BG laugh, or the lineups?
For you, the lineup, Glenn.
Oh, that guy, the Atari shirt guy. I love it.
DJ Quells, man.
All right, here's the lineup. Leno, Cedric, Ben White.
Yeah, Ben White.
Rob Holding, Tavage, Lakanga Patino, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Nketiah.
That's exactly what we said.
Pretty much, except for the Ben White part. And I forgot that Ben White seems to be playing in the Cups this season no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I see some.
I had a feeling Ben
Chambers is on the bench, though.
I had a feeling Ben White was going to play anyway.
Over Chambers.
Yeah. I had a feeling Ben White was going to play just the sheer fact of Ben White's up, like Glenn said, and I agree with him. We're going to have trouble linking up in the midfield. Ben White's a guy that's going to carry the ball through the midfield. So if we really have a problem with that, all right, cool. Ben White, just grow some balls, which he has. He's done it in big games. Carry the ball up. You can do it. You're a big boy.
On the bench, on the bench, you got Ramsey, Tierney, Chambers.
Ramsey, easy.
Ramsdale, sorry.
Who Kolasinac is back?
Yes, he is. Ramsdale, Tierney, Chambers, Mari, Lacazette, Kolasinac, Beereth, Salah-Eddin, and Amari Hutchison. So I have to say I'm surprised that Patino's getting the start over Chambers, but you haven't seen any inclination whatsoever from Mikel Arteta to play Chambers in that position. So
that is very strange. But I mean, Chambers has came back. He's just coming back from COVID. He's been out for a while, I guess. But
he's so good looking.
Another thing that made me go from Arteta out to supporting him again was a lot of times I was looking at the lineup with these guys and saying, "What the hell is he doing?" And then we went out and played great. So I'll trust in him. Although I'm not thrilled with the lineup, I'll trust in him because
I gotta hand it to you for a lot of people on YouTube and Arsenal experts and self-professed whatever, the hot take merchants, many of whom are my friends, some of whom are not, but there's no willingness to go back on something. I mean, I don't necessarily really understand the need to take a hot stand so early on with, anyway, to just be all in on loving or hating a player or a coach or anything like that. I'd rather sit on the fence and just try to hope that it works out and be happy when it does and feel annoyed when it doesn't. But you don't see a whole lot of people who were outspoken about their dislike coming out and saying, you know what, I was wrong. And frankly, I don't know that you could be wrong yet either. I'm not saying that it's been proven. But at least if you want to come out strong, at least be willing to switch to the other side of the fence if need be, without it being a colonoscopy. to make that happen. So
I think
I'm
Mike.
hearing some things already from certain people about, well, I'm starting to see this. Here's what needs to happen for me to get fully on board. And I'm like, here's what needs to happen for you to get fully on board. I'm sure they're taking that under advisement. I'm sure that they've just ripped up the playbook and gone with that, so that
So, some people, Mike, and we all know this, just cannot admit when they're wrong. But I think it's a lot easier for a married guy like me to admit I'm wrong, because I'm used to saying I'm wrong, even when I'm not. So, I think when you're married, it's a little easier to say I'm sorry, because you get a lot of practice at it.
Yeah, and I mean it's just, we don't all have to have. I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't understand what makes good content, but I just I've come to the grips that I don't personally dictate or control anything that happens with this football club, other than in some instances the halftime music.
Or when you sneak into a press conference.
I didn't sneak into the press conference. I was invited.
No, he was invited.
I was credentialed, but I don't influence it. I can't control what decisions or inputs or whether the players push forward after a goal or don't. So I'm just gonna root and hope that we do well, and be a little upset when we don't, and be really, really happy when we do. And I'm just gonna go with that. That's my strategy. And the last month or two, it's worked out pretty well.
Where is Pepe?
Oh, good question.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
How many people are waking up and saying that this morning?
I totally forgot about him. Jesus,
unless he's got COVID.
He's not even on the bench.
Unless he's got COVID or an injury. This is bad.
No, this is not good for him. I heard he wasn't happy to begin with. I can't do two things at the same time. If one of you guys want to Google him.
Pepe's at AFCON.
That's
right.
You idiot.
Oh
we thought BG was like, oh, this is so profound. Now he's in there.
Hey,
that's
right. Can I ask you guys a serious question? I am very naive about this, and I don't mean any harm. If you were the manager of a football team, and you use Partey as an example, would you ever go up and say, hey, dude, we really need you here. Can you stay? Is that so totally out of the question?
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's what the manager does all the time. What do you talk? I don't get.
Well, but for breaks like for international breaks, but for the massive tournament in their continent, Partey and Ghana especially, a chance to win. That doesn't go over so well. And frankly, I don't think that they can unless they pull this injury bullshit, right? I mean, don't the international federations have the ability to pull them for competitions like this? I don't know the rules. I'm asking.
I can't now with as much power as the players. I'm assuming this, but I would just say that with as much power as these players wield in this sport, I find it very hard to believe that there is anyone that could pull them and say, no, you are playing. You have to be here. I just can't.
I didn't say I would say that to him. I just would ask him. And obviously, it's a stupid question because you all disagree with me. So move on. I'm sorry. I'm old-fashioned. Hey, I give you your paycheck. I really need you. Okay, fine. That's not allowed. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, there's probably language. No, to answer your exact question, Glenn. I mean, I think the manager would like to request that they not go on international duty, but there's probably language written into their contract.
Yeah. Okay.
From their international. From their international team, and they get paid to play internationally too. So it's not just the club giving them the paycheck.
Okay, good. Have fun. Go win your little thing.
Yeah, to us,
it's not a little thing, my friend. It's really.
I know it's not a little thing. I'm just annoyed.
I know a lot about little things, and the AFCON is not a little thing.
It's a pretty big deal, but
I know it is. You guys got me all wound up.
No, I honestly, Glenn, I'm more with you on this.
I just don't.
I know.
I played for Arsenal, and there was some tournament in America. Oh, New York has a chance to win. No, sorry, I'm playing here.
Glenn, playing for New York and playing for your country are two completely different things.
I mean,
stop it. Stop it.
New York.
It's strange
Jesus,
to say
bro.
a little bit because I'm with Glenn on this. I don't international. No. What I mean is, what I mean when I say I'm with Glenn, international football doesn't do it for me. I'll watch the World Cup. You know, I'll watch those matches, but by and large, I just international football just doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't do it for you because you're a
football.
fan, but for a player playing for your country is a big deal.
Oh my God!
No, I get that. Yes, it is a big deal to play for your country, and the players do take it very seriously.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
No, why? It's an interesting point.
It's a good point. I just playing for country is a big deal. I'll just leave it at that.
I know.
I mean, let me put it to you this way. It's like, I mean, I don't even know it's like ice hockey. I know you're a hockey guy. We're all hockey guys here. It's like playing for the Rangers or whatever team it is. I don't know if you're a Rangers or an Islanders guy.
I'm an Islanders fan. Not watching hockey this year.
Trust me, if Glenn was a Rangers fan, I wouldn't be on the same show as him.
Alex Ovechkin's one of the best team, committed to his club. Is a one-team guy. He'll leave the club in a second anytime Russia has a game that he's eligible to play.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. Obviously, that was a stupid question by me.
It wasn't stupid. No,
it wasn't stupid.
That's why we're spending so much time on it, because it's a good point. It's an interesting dynamic with the because especially when you consider that this is the only sport in the world where every single season for leagues there are international breaks. You play for your team, for your national team every single year, and you do so during the season for your club. Think about it. The Winter Olympics only come around once every 4 years. Hockey players are only leaving their team to go play for their country once every 4 years, and they're not doing it this year. You know, the NBA doesn't have that problem because they play in the summer, but I don't like professional athletes at the Olympics, but whatever. But this is the only sport where that exists. To me, it's a really interesting talking point. I always do this. Whenever we disagree with you, you always get really buttery. I'm sorry I brought it up. Why? It's a good point.
According to Mike, I offended an entire continent. So I just want to move on.
I didn't say
you did offend an entire continent, yeah. But
there is a guy from Botswana that got really angry and left.
Botswana.
Oh shit. I'm sorry. Oh.
Anyway.
Another interesting thing is, we have 5 subs. I doubt we're going to bring on Tierney, Chambers, Mari, Lacazette, and Kolasinac. So we're probably going to see Beereth, Salah, or Hutchinson. So I think that's going to be cool. Definitely players that are doing pretty good in the U23s. So it'd be nice to see them get some game time in.
I'm confident. I think I see some goals in that lineup. I see a 3-1 win.
Ooh, you think Nottingham Forest are going to score? I mean, yeah, they can. I mean, their leading goal scorer is not playing. So, or he's not starting. I don't know if he's on the bench. I know he's not.
Well, I was giving them a home.
Oh yeah, what do we know about how they rotated or not or didn't rotate?
Their leading goal scorer is not playing. I know he's not starting. I know that much. Is he on the bench?
Do you think that they would?
Yeah,
do you think
he's on the bench.
Their leading goal scorer today.
He's on the bench. Their best player is probably their captain, their center back. What's his name? Joe Worrell. I mean, it's gonna be a tough game, but we're gonna win by more than 1 goal, though. I don't know. We just need to be able to break. It's like playing any championship team. I think when you're coming in from the Premier League and you're playing a team that is again coming from the championship, I think you just need to break. You need to impose your will, and you just need to break them. You just need to be like, yes, we're a Premier League team. We're gonna come and we're gonna score, and we don't care. And we don't care that you're gonna foul us. We don't care that you're gonna just get yellow cards everywhere you want to go because that's just a championship way. We're just going to play our game and we're going to beat you, and we're going to beat you soundly and just put you to bed. And
the key is scoring first and then also
Yes.
scoring second and third, right?
Yeah, that's true too. And if you score fourth and fifth, then I'm pretty sure you're going to win the game. But yeah, no, I just think we need to impose our will and the way, which is kind of why I keep talking about, the way Arteta has coached these kids, the way Arteta has a structure, the way our I guess you'd say our culture is going to be. It seems like we're a team that's going to just come in, know what we need to do, and do it. We're like, I don't want to say he coached out, creativity. He coached out chaos from the players, but in a way, when you have a team with a lot of chaos and a team that just goes based off instinct and what they want to do, which we talked about, Tanner, you have letdown games, and because a professional footballer is not going to make the right move 100% of the time, so you're going to have blips. And I think the way Arteta is coaching this team is to ensure the least amount of blips possible. And if you're putting the structure in, you're implementing it, and you have a bunch of players that are following said structure, I think we're looking at a team that's not going to let us down like they have. I think the hope that kills you is slowly getting eroded from this culture, which is a good thing. And it kind of goes back to what you guys talked about, the Torreiras, the Ganduzis of the world. In my opinion, I think he saw people that were 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No, bye, see ya. This is his ship. He needs guys that are fully 100% on board. And I think that was the way he got to where he is right now. Is he said to himself as soon as he came in, I only want people that are going to be here. They want to play for me. They want to learn this. This is it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, a little cruel sometimes, but I'm ensuring a better future for the club and ensuring a better future for the players. And I think the players are catching on. And I think that's why, we see all these people, oh, but I know me and Glenn talk all the time. Rick and Doozy. Everyone on this show fucking jerks Torreira off. Everyone loves Torreira. And it's like, yeah, but he didn't want to play here. He did not want to be here. He said eventually at the end, we're like, yeah, no, I want to see England. I want to fight for my place. But it's like, again, it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like cool, awesome. But we have players that are like 100% committed. They want to be here. They want to learn this structure. It's going to be tough. They're going to be blips in the road, but it's to ensure a nice, smoother future. And I think that's what you're going to get when you play teams like Nottingham Forest and championship level teams. Is we're just going to come in. We're going to impose our will. We're going to break them. Hopefully we do that. I mean, it's going to be a little tougher with younger players with a little bit of less inexperienced players. But I think if Arteta's doing the job that us four think he's doing, I think it's definitely a game that we're just going to, break them. It just depends on when we break them. Is it going to be in the 80th minute? Yeah, good. But
how long into Rocky IV did it take for him to break them? I must break you. By the way, Maitland-Niles is playing for Roma today. So
already? Wow, good for him.
Yep.
Ryan, I only got like 2 or 3 minutes before I got to go. I didn't hear your prediction on the game.
Oh, Cardiff! How did I miss Cardiff scoring? I'm too busy talking.
Oh my God! Because I don't know. Because Cardiff is far more important than doing it.
Yeah. Oh my God! Cardiff scoring
extra time is very, very more impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have tuned into the Cardiff, the bearded Cardiff show.
The Cardiff, the Welsh bearded man. I don't know. It's an interesting game. Again, I think it's gonna just depend on. I would have said it's gonna be at least 3-0, but Nottingham Forest plays I don't want to say they're a mirror team of us. They're not a mirror team of us, but they do play better defensively than they do in attack. And especially without their leading goal scorer, they don't really have a threat.
Are we talking about Nottingham Forest or Cardiff at this point?
Nottingham Forest. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Who knows?
So the guy who has the most goals on their team right now is at 5. I think it's Johnson. I think he's in the midfield, or he's a winger.
Nottingham Forest on the bench. This seems really dumb because they have Cafu on the bench. Isn't he good?
That's a different guy. I know what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Not the same guy. I know. Well, I thought the same thing when I saw him. Like,
if you have Cafu, you got to play him, right? I mean, I don't care if he's 71 years old.
But yeah, no, I think it's going to be interesting. I think they're either going to score 0 goals or going to score 1. I think they have a chance to get a chip on. But you know what? I'm not. I'm going to say we beat them 3-0. To 3-0.
Yeah, I only give them a goal because our midfield is like the Riddler, a big question mark. I'm not sure what we're going to get.
I think it might be more than 3-0, but I'd feel like an asshole going more than 3-0.
I just see them, and it's in Nottingham Forest, right? It's
Yes.
the home
Yes.
game for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're notoriously not. They're better away from home than they are. So, like, hopefully, use that to our advantage as well.
Xhaka and Balogun out with COVID. Smith Rowe and Tomiyasu with tight groin and calf. Apparently, Smith Rowe's tightness is his missing the game is very precautionary.
There it is. There it is.
What is that?
It's my wife texting me when I stay on too long.
I thought you had the dark like the Darth Vader theme.
I changed it. That was more fun, but now it's annoying. So I'm gonna change it again. See, here comes my son. I gotta go. Owen, come
Here
say hi.
comes his son. Here
What's up,
comes-
Owen?
Say
Oh,
hi.
there he is.
Okay. Tell mommy I'll be right there. Okay. Go.
Daddy working.
Yeah, get the fuck out. So, oh my God.
Oh my
I gotta learn to hit the mute button. All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, 3. Okay.
The show is now under investigation.
Oh my god!
So, what do you guys
Oh,
think?
he just yelled at his kid like I yelled at a dude coming into the bar the other night.
Chambers time.
Yeah, Mike, what's your thought here?
I'm gonna go with my 8th consecutive prediction of 2-2. Although I can't really do that in this game, can I? Because then it will go to extra time. It will be 2-2. It will go to extra time. It will go to penalties, and we will ultimately be victorious. I can't predict us to lose, but I am worried about this game.
Really?
I am. I am.
I mean, you should be worried about every game. That's fair.
The midfield is worrying. So
I think
look. The one I was in the chat room when you guys did the pregame show for Manchester United, and I've never seen guys so confident that we were going to win that game. And I'm like, your confidence is making me nervous because Arsenal do the opposite of what people think they're going to do, and you guys are falling into this trap with the positivity that Arsenal fans do. And I'm like, not that any of this impacted the result. Not that my unwillingness to be confident actually led to us losing. But I do kind of think that way sometimes. So,
well, to be fair with the Man U argument, I even said this in the pregame show. Like, I was afraid that we were going to play the badge, not the team that they put out, and that's exactly what we did. We played like we were playing a prime Man U team. It's like, well, they're not like that, and I think
we gave them too much respect.
Exactly, and I think, and it goes to my rambling.
We laid too much respect on their name.
Exactly, and it goes to like my rambling rant of I just think that Arteta has coached these guys up to give us less disappointment because I think they're so structured in what they do, and I think to an extent he almost, I don't want to say has the winning formula for football because he's not gonna win every single game he plays. I mean, obviously the Man City game, obviously, but I just think he has a formula that
he wasn't there for that one, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true. Airport Albert. No, but I think AirPod. Yeah. I just think he's drilled into his guys enough to where I think it's just less disappointment, more structure, and I think, I just think it sucks. Like I said, Tanner, you've said this multiple times. You don't like how there's no chaos, no creativity, but I think it's good because if you have too much chaos, creativity, you're gonna disappoint. You're gonna lose to a Cambridge United shutout Newcastle. You're gonna there was another big upset yesterday, but you need structure. And I think structure is very important. And
Kidderminster beating Birmingham, I think.
Yeah, the crab. Their logo looks like crabs, like a crab.
They're one division below where Sutton and Lincoln were when we played Sutton and Lincoln that year. So if they make it, I think our game against Sutton was 5th round, and then I think Lincoln
was like semis or quarters. I think
the Lincoln game was the 7th round with a 6th round, which is the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So Kidderminster's got one more to go to beat that, but they are a 6th tier team, not a 5th tier team. So
I'll be sure to be putting money on them where they get.
Whoever draws them in the next round, which we'll find out in about 16 minutes or so. But
the draws before the game?
I hate when the draws before our game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I have to look at that. That's crazy.
There'll be only two unfinished games at that point, and it's ours and what United Villa tomorrow.
Yeah.
and the rest of the spots will all be picked, and it makes me nervous because like we'll look at the draw and be all excited about it, and then forget that we have a game to play. Are you going to make it through the game? Are you going to make it through the game today?
Oh, I don't know.
Can I pass this through the computer to you?
Yeah, right. I have one downstairs in the fridge. Good. So, I'm going to go slightly in between the two of you. I think it'll be 2-1 to Arsenal.
That's where you belong in the Mike Ryan sandwich.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from this midfield. That's what's a little troubling.
It's crazy, but games like this, we're gonna see how well Mikel has his team. We're gonna see how well Arteta has coached his team. It's always gonna be games like
this is where the manager earns his head coaching money.
Yeah.
Managing some different people. He can't say, okay, same 11 out there or same 11 other than the one rotation that's been forced on us by an injury or something like that. That's the easy part. And getting them up to play every game, getting a different combination of players to play a team that is not particularly threatening on its face, and getting them to just not let them. I mean, don't do what Tottenham just did today and keep them in the game for 80 minutes,
right?
Because yes, they ultimately got the job done, but that's not a winning formula. No. Just get it done in the first half.
Yeah,
and then you have choices for rotation for the next 3 games that we have coming up.
Put it to bed early. Yep, I agree, but I'd be honest. That's just not. Hope I'm wrong. I see a stressful 90 plus minutes coming up.
They're not a good team in attack, and they're missing their leading goal scorer. I just am not. They're like toothless. But again, like I agree. I think with our team, I think with the Patino and Lukonga in our midfield, we need to still impose our will. We need to still like just because they're bad in attack doesn't mean like, oh, okay, well they're not good in attack, so we don't have to score. No, that means we tie, and then we gotta what I mean. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but I'm just not worried about them coming at us. I mean, unless we fuck up, which we're leading the Premier League in errors leading to shots on net, so it can happen.
Yeah. So, all right, that's it. I've got a few things to do before the match kicks off. I'm going to watch the draw, and we'll be back. I'm not sure what time we will be back for post game.
Speaking of post game, can I?
Go ahead.
It's week 18 of NFL. Come on.
What do you have planned for post game today?
I was going to do a post game. I just didn't know if I was going to go straight after full time or if I was going to wait.
Okay. Well, this might help.
I was going to talk to you about this.
Plug away.
Two plugs, real quick. The first is Gooners versus Cancer. Go to goonersvcancer.com and check out the most amazing piece of Arsenal memorabilia in the world, as far as I'm concerned. It's staggering. It is only at goonersvcancer.com, and you can win it with as little as an 18 quid, which is about $25 equivalent donation to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So you're donating money to a good cause. It's tax deductible if you are eligible and if all the particulars work out. I can't promise anything because I don't know where you live and I don't know what your tax laws are. But we're only having 500 entries for this. So, one or more entries out of 500, you have a chance to win this ridiculous jersey. And in order to see it and see what it's all about, you can go to goonersvcancer.com. And then after the game at 7:15 UK time, 2:15 Eastern time, we're doing a open mic post-game show. And today's post-game show is actually going to be on Lee Judges TV. So it's going to be broadcast on Lee Judges TV. If you want to be part of it, just go to gooneropenmic.com. It's open Mike MIC. Just go to Gooner Open Mic and you can be part of the show. Have your say on the game. If you want to watch it, just go to Lee Judges TV and check for the link there. We're getting that worked out. So that's going to be about 15 minutes or so after the end of the game. So if you want to do a post game show after that, we'll make sure to plug your post game show, and it'll just be an afternoon of Arsenal.
So we'll go 3:30 Eastern time, 8:30 UK time. So we'll go post game roughly an hour and a half after final whistle, give or take. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, we'll be back for Arsenal Aftermath. Then we'll schedule it for 3:30. So check out GoonerOpenMic.com. That's how you get your say on everything Nottingham Forest Arsenal from the FA Cup third round. Be sure also, once again, like Mike said, go to GoonersBeatCancer.com and check out everything going on there. Of course, man, it's a great cause. It's the work you do there is second to none, my friend. Of all of the joking,
the work I do everywhere else is
I mean it's
just none. But
yeah, pretty much. But you put all your eggs into one basket. And you do a really good job with that one basket. So look, that's all anybody.
It's my license to suck at everything else I do.
There you go. Enjoy the suck. Embrace the suck, I think is actually the way.
Why do I have a feeling there's a sign that says that, like the Believe sign on Ted Lasso? There's an Embrace the Suck sign at Ryan's house over every door. So,
yeah,
but it doesn't mean what Tanner's talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks. Many thanks to Glenn, Ryan for showing up late. Everything came out all right though in the end, right? Yeah. Oh, what? You're muted. You're muted.
Right.
You're muted.
I didn't know you were talking to me.
Home against Kidderminster in the fourth round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Yep. All right, guys. Go check out the fourth round draw before our match. Gooner Open mic straight away after full time. 3:30 is Arsenal Aftermath. It's been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.